Welcome to this presentation of the Rotary Club of North Bethesda, Maryland, USA. Our club was established in 1974. We meet every Friday morning at 7:45 a.m., and we often invite guest speakers to give presentations on all kinds of interesting subjects. Please contact us through our website at nbrotary.org. And thanks for watching.
Club member Bruce Fowler has had a lifelong interest in the underwater world. As an international toxicologist with an undergraduate degree in fisheries biology, he's been fascinated by marine creatures and invertebrates. He spoke to our club last year about the importance of reefs in the health of the planet. In this presentation, he'll discuss the creatures, the people who inhabit the reefs and can communicate with humans and each other. Bruce has recently started creating impressionistic paintings of some of his many underwater friends, and he'll explain why they are worthy of our respect.
I was an underwater photographer for a number of years. The photo in the lower right corner is a photo of a bannerfish in Truck Lagoon in the Caroline Island Group. The painting on the left is an acrylic painting from that photo. I decided a couple of years ago to try my hand at painting, converting some of these photographs into acrylic paintings, which you see there. I could have the next slide. Okay. These are two of the acrylic paintings of two sharks. The one on the lower left is a sharp-nosed shark, a Caribbean reef shark. And the one on the right is a tiger shark with a fishhook in its jaw. Next slide. This is a yellowtail snapper who decided to befriend me. You'll see as we go through these various slides, fish looking in on me. They are intensely curious. And this one was swimming along next to me, and I stopped, and he came right around and looked me right in the eye to check me out. So, but this is a very common occurrence for divers. The fish have personalities, and they're very curious. Next slide. This is a yellowtail snapper in a place called Grand Cayman. So the next time you go to visit your offshore banker in Grand Cayman, you want to be sure to visit a place called Stingray City, which you can snorkel. It's the world's best 12-foot dive. It's a sand flat with about 250 stingrays in it. Now, honest to God, this is like being in a room with 250 Cocker Spaniel puppies. These things are inquisitive. They're rub up against you. They like to be petted. They like to be petted. Yes. And yeah, that too. They do that too. And you take them out of the water. I mean, it's an amazing experience, and you make a friend for life. Okay, and the way the stingrays, I'll show you a picture of a stingray doing some maintenance in the coral reef in Charm in a minute. They hoover things, not hover, but hoover. So when you want to feed this, the stingray has its eyes on top of its head, but it has a great sense of smell. And if you have a handful of calamari, you can fly these things around all over the place. And when it's time to feed them, you just open your hand and there's this whoosh, and the calamari disappears into the stingray. Cool. Okay. In addition, though, there are these guys. This is a yellowtail snapper, which is maybe about that big, which also likes calamari. And so I was swimming along with my trusty camera, and I became conscious of this entity next to me. So I stopped. This thing came right around and looked me in the mask. Okay, they're very interactive. Okay, they're very curious. Who are you really? You can get into some pretty deep stuff here if you want to. the important thing is that, and you'll see more pictures of these fish coming up to the cameraman, namely me, and wanting to interact. Okay, they're not stupid. They may be interested in what you might, tasty snacks you might have. We'll get to tasty snacks in a little bit. But the important thing is that they are part of our world, and they're a part of our world that we don't communicate with very well. Among the commercial fishermen who trawl for whatever fish they're trying to catch, there is something called bycatch, which is animals, fish that get caught up in the net that are not saleable, and they kill them and throw them back. A lot of these things are bycatch, if you look at it like that. But my point is that they are very, very important to the health of any ecosystem. And we're going to talk about reefs, but it's also things deep. Next slide. Okay, here's the twinkle in Bruce Fowler's eye. Okay, as I said, I've been a number of things over the years. I've been a scuba instructor and a professor and Fulbrighter. We've talked about this stuff before. Anyway, this is my project going forward. So I have these photographs. My original thought was to create a coffee table book with underwater photographs that I could share. But then one day, for reasons I don't remember, I thought to myself, gee, I wonder if I could convert these photographs into paintings. So I went down to my local art supply store and got an easel and got a bunch of acrylic paints. And with permission of my wife, I got permission to use the bathroom as my atelier. Okay, now I have to put down plastic and other stuff. She's threatened bodily harm if I get acrylics in the tile, or in between the tile, actually. But anyway, so far so good. But the idea, though, is that I have a purpose for me going forward, and we'll see. You tell me what you think after we get all done. We're done with this. Okay, next slide. Whether Fowler's had too many deep dives. This is an important fish. This is something called a humphead rasa or Napoleon rasa, and it's in the Red Sea off of a place called Sharm el Sheikh. And this thing is about six.
He's cute.
He's very cute. Okay, he's about 6 or 7 feet long. He's biggie, but you can see he's coming in to check me out. Okay, go to the next slide. I think we have a side shot of it. There he is. Okay, you can get a picture of the darling devil. Okay, but what's important about this is that this fish is one of the few entities that can feed upon something called a crown of thorns starfish, which I'm going to show you a picture of in just a minute. Okay, let's keep going, Kevin. I'm conscious of time. 14 minutes. You got 14. Okay, bless you, my son. Okay, other thing with this is the one in the center is emperor angelfish. What I want to call your attention to, though, are the little goldfish all around it. Okay, many of the photographs you're going to see have these things. These are called sea goldies. They belong to the genus Pseudoanthias. Okay, but the normal inhabitants of the reef, very prolific inhabitants that like to get their picture taken. Okay, they keep showing up. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is a blue spotted stingray doing what stingrays do, vacuuming the bottom. Okay, this reefs as I will point out to you, are very tidy places that, aside from trash that humans leave, nothing lasts for very long without getting tidied up one way or another. The sharks do this. The stingray does this.
Stingrays have eyes.
Yes, it's up top of his head. They're right there in the middle. Go up right there. Yeah.
Can the sting kill people?
Well, they can, but that isn't normally what they use them for. The crocodile hunter, that's how he met his end. Yeah, okay. The stinger is actually yeah, yeah. Okay, he did a dumb thing. The stinger is about 6 to 8 inches long, wonderfully sharp, and very hard. It's at the base of its tail, and it's strictly a defensive mechanism. And if you put your hand in the middle of the stingray's back, that tail, it's a reflex, it just whips up. And I suspect that's how he got it in the chest. Okay, and then he made the mistake of pulling the stinger out. And it's called cardiac tamponade in medical terms. He bled out. Okay, he should have left it in. Anyway, these.
Remember that, okay?
Yeah, next time you're snorkeling. But again, here's this nice white sandy bottom. Okay, you never look at a sandy bottom the same way again. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, go. Okay, this is another. I'm going to show you some really cool fish. Okay, this is Sharm el Sheikh again. This is a torpedo ray, is what it's called. He doesn't have. That's the fish. Okay, and I didn't. It's on. He's on the reef. He's just cruising along. I just happened to come on him. Now, this is a very unique fish. He doesn't have a stinger, but what he has between his eyes, which are up there in the front, is an electrical organ that can generate up to 500 volts. Okay. And its method of hunting is it comes up to whatever it wants to try to eat, and he gives it a jolt and stuns it, and then it eats it. Okay. Now they get much bigger than this. This just happened to be what I got to. So you can see now, the other thing to say is that you can see that these reefs have kind of, the background is slightly different. Some are more, I'll call them rocky. They're not rocks, but they're coral. And they're different types. And the fish who live there have adapted to those. Next slide. No. Okay, here we go. This is a crown of thorns starfish on a reef in Sharm el Sheikh, a prickly customer. They're actually pretty big. These things eat coral, okay? And so there has been a great hue and cry about the proliferation of these things eating the coral reefs. However, because of that Napoleon wrasse, I don't know what else eats. There aren't many things that eat these things. As you can see, this is a pretty tough customer. They keep it in balance. So this gets us to the Vonneguttism of trying to understand the universe. Everything is connected to everything else. Okay. So next slide. Oh, this is a pearl starfish in Sharm el Sheikh also, and you can see that.
Sir.
Yeah, that the starfish is right there in the middle with the little red dot. Okay. Again, what it's doing is it's in amongst a bunch of anemones and it's munching. They spend a lot of time eating. It's important. Okay, next slide. Okay. Now, stop right there. Okay. Now, you can see peeking out from under that piece of coral a rather toothy individual called a moray, a viper moray to be exact. Now, one of the things that the scuba instructors, among the things that we teach students is don't stick your hand in any holes. Okay, somebody probably lives there. It's a fish. It's actually about 7, 8 feet long.
Oh.
Okay. Now, they're about, they live in holes, they live in cracks. They're nocturnal though. They are two things. They're nearsighted and they have a great sense of smell. Okay, that's how they hunt, and they hunt at night. They feed on parrotfish is what they do. But anyway, yeah, yeah. Now, but this gets better. In Grand Cayman, well, actually it was Bonaire.
How do you smell on the water?
They can do it. That's yeah. Oh, yes, they do.
Maybe water tastes.
Well, no, come on. I'm getting to the punchline here, you guys. Okay. So they're nocturnal, they're nearsighted, and they hunt by smell. But they like to be petted. They're actually very, I won't say cuddly is the right word, although there are people who do this. But the ones in Bonaire have developed a taste for Vienna sausages. Okay. Now, the way you feed a Vienna sausage to a stingray is carefully is the answer. Is you hold the Vienna sausage, you wave it around so the stingray sees what it is. But remember, it's nearsighted and it has trouble distinguishing between where the fingers begin and end. And skinny dipping for males at night is not recommended. Okay. All right, let's go on. Okay, now we can keep going. Okay, these are tube sponges. And if you look in amongst them, there are two bright orange and purple fish. Those are called royal grammas, and that's where they live. Yeah, there's another one. There's a bigger one. Okay, these are wonderful aquarium fish. If you ever decide to set up a saltwater aquarium, these things are only a couple inches long. Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Yeah. Oh, cut that out. Okay. Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to wind this up. Keep going. Yeah. Okay. This is a four-eye butterfly fish on a reef in the Caribbean. And it's called that because you can see it has a big black dot at its tail end, and it has an eye up front. The argument, yeah, that's the eye. And I have a painting of this, but I couldn't fish it out, to use the expression. Okay. The idea, though, is that it's intended to help confuse a predator, okay, because the predators usually try to come up on the fish in ambush. But if it doesn't know which is the front and which is the back, okay, then the fish has a better chance. Next slide. Right at up. Okay, there's that. This is a gold bar angelfish and Sharm el Sheikh. And there's a little red fish coming right under it called a long-nosed hawksfish.
What kind of camera do you use?
This is a Japanese camera, as you might expect, called the CNC Motor Marine 2. It's actually an amphibious camera.
Waterproof.
It's waterproof. You have to grease the O-rings, and so the water doesn't get into it. But you can use. I did use it both underwater and when I'd come up on a dive boat. I could take pictures of what was around up there. Let's keep going. I want to get to the barracuda. Here he is. Okay, this is the bottom of the dive boat that we were working under. This is it's about a 6-foot barracuda, something like that. Yeah, well, he's a top of the line predator, and this is sort of the analogy of where does a barracuda rest. And it's the same answer as to where does the 800-pound gorilla sleep. Okay, anywhere it wants. Okay. Okay.
It's with a skill.
Okay, but this is a really cool fish. Okay, and this is called a sling jaw rasa, and adult male to be exact. Now you can see that the texture of this reef is very different from the ones we have. The reason this is called a sling jaw wrassa is, and he's looking, I call this looking for lunch. He's in the process of trying to slurp, is what it is. He can extend his jaw about 8 to 10 inches, throw it out in the tube form. And so what he's going to do is extend this jaw down in between those pilings and slurp up whatever he's looking at. Okay, kind of a big Slurpee. Next slide. Let's see if we can finish this up.
You got about 1 minute.
I know. Yeah, that's just the barracuda.
Back, the other way, the other way.
Okay, stop.
That's first.
This is the last, okay, these are, again, fish coming in to say hi to the photographer. Okay, these are blue striped grunts in Hawaii. The idea is that, and like I said, they get terribly curious about these big noisy things who show up with tanks on their backs and make bubbles. But they're not afraid. They'll come over. Their curiosity is greater than whatever fear they might have of the fact that there's this thing that's much bigger than they are. Next slide. This is a beautiful fish. It's in the Caribbean. They love cheese whiz. Okay. And I've been told by some divers wear what are called buoyancy control devices, vests. And in those vests are pockets into which you can put tasty snacks for your friends. So it turns out, and if you push the lever on a can of Cheese Whiz and it extrudes out, these things will follow it right up to you. End of sermon. Okay, I'll stop there.
Well done.